Now a fishing legend in his own mind, Rick Jordan.
Good morning. I was just talking with Dave about that rip current. You ever get caught in a rip current?
No, I have not.
I haven't either, and I don't want to.
I don't think so.
Ooh, boy.
Not necessarily. They're not saying there is rip currents. It's the could form. Yes. So
that's a scary. If there is one, then you know you don't go there.
Right. And there are surfers out there. I noticed yesterday, so I suppose they'll be out there again today.
Oh, they're right off Russ's. In fact, Russ
Really?
Francisco. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. Do you have surfers off the shore from your store?
Sometimes they usually start a little farther up, but if the waves are good, they'll surf all the way down into the close area.
Oh, and then Strandberg mentioned that rip current. That does not sound fun.
No, I usually get when we get hard northeast winds, we usually get a rip current. I mean, hard not to have one.
Yeah. Well, we're on the frenzy. It's Friday. It's not a pretty day. This is the day you sharpen hooks or restring your reel or something, huh?
Yeah, it's sort of ugly out, but it's pretty traditional weather. We've had nicer than usual weather, but now we have traditional weather. So we'll have that for a couple of days and go back into the 70s again, high 60s, and so people will start fishing again, and that'll be fine. And some people are putting their boats away, and some people are preparing for the next season. So just we're playing all ice fishing, summer and winterization all at the same time this year.
Yeah. My boat is still ready for action, and maybe Monday?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Fishing is pretty good overall. I have talked to some people, though, that around the state because we've been traveling buying for next season and stuff, and there's a lot of these lakes that have cribs in them for crappies, and they're fairly shallow, and those cribs have no fish on them. The fish are still in 30, 40 feet, so water is still warm. One of the lakes, he told me went green beginning of last week. So it should have happened 2 weeks before, but it's just a very, very odd year.
Well, welcome to Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
we do it differently. Well, Russ, you're up there on the shoreline. Fall fishing can be fantastic on the North Shore. Can be.
Yep. This will help. This rain will help.
Yep. Good.
There's been people catching a few pinks here and there. There's been some steelhead now and then, a few cohos, most of those on the South Shore. But this rain will help. This will bring some fish into the beach, and that'll be good. We'll be able to shore cast and have a good time.
I think the year probably, I'm going to go back, I'll mention a friend of yours that we've lost. It's probably 1989 or so, maybe 90. I got a phone call. A guy named Gary Severson.
Yep.
He called and he says, Jordan, I got a pink I want to show you. I'll be right there. What the heck is a pink? Well, within 4 or 5 minutes there he was ringing the doorbell. And the biggest doggone lake fish I have ever seen. Yeah.
They're getting bigger all the time too, and so cohos were good this year. Lots of 4 and 5 pounders, Chinooks, up in the teens and 20s even. Not a ton of them, but we had some big fish. Nice lake trout still. So the big lake did real well this year. It was a good season. The inland lakes. Walleye fishing was better than usual. Crappies were big. Northerns were decent. Sturgeon, people happened to catch sturgeon in the St. Louis River, a very nice sized fish and very healthy fish. So it was a good summer. Although it was steady by jerks to begin with, it turned out to be a good summer.
I totally agree. I'm going to go inland a little bit, though. Island Lake, which is a few miles from my house, we fish that a lot. And we found some new spots that turned out to last until last weekend. I got skunked last weekend for the first time. So they've moved around. So if you're hunting for those walleyes, be prepared to move around a little bit.
Yep.
Night crawlers.
they went deeper, and that's what a lot of people have told us. So, crawlers are good. We're able to get leeches yet, but they're not very big, but we're able to get a dozen packs we got this week, so that wasn't too bad. And then crawlers have been really good. People still buying lots of minnows, and like I say, the crappie thing is just kicking in, so we'll be busy for a while with that. And then there's folks that are putting their boats away because it's hunting time, so we've got all the winterization stuff, and so we're working on that really good. And then we've been hanging up ice fishing accessories, so if people are working on their tents, and they should this time of year, you got to pull them out of the corner and dust them off and just see if they're still in good shape, and if they're not, glues and stuff like that. Patchwork works better in the warm weather than it does in the cold, so it's a good time to do that. So we're sort of playing all seasons. Sharky hung up ice rods yesterday. We've got boots out. We've got gloves out. So when it's cold, people look at that, and when it's nice, they go back to looking at summer stuff. It's sort of fun this time of year.
You don't do a lot with hunting, but you've got some excellent footwear for hunters.
Yeah, we got a lot of knee-high boots, a lot of specials on those. We got a lot of gloves, things like that. And then if you need rain gear, still we left that out, still 40% off. We left the kayaks out front. We usually put them away by now, but ice tents are going to be a couple weeks late, a lot of them. So we just decided to leave the boats out, and they're all 40% off. So if you want a kayak, whether it's a sit-in or sit on top or a canoe or something like that, everything on the lot is 40% off. And as soon as the ice tents come, we'll put that stuff away. Then we'll be done with the sale. But as long as we don't have anything to put out there right now, we'll leave those out.
And the hours at Marine General?
9 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 9 to 3 on Sunday, marinegeneral.com all the time. If you're outside the area, call 800-777-8557. We ship every day.
Attaboy. Thank you very much. Good job. 9:21 at KDAL. Let's take a break. We'll talk more hunting right after this. 9:24 here at KDAL. And let's cross over the river. Pat Kukul, good morning at Superior Shooters Supply.
Good morning to you, my fine feathered friend.
Feathered? I heard some
feathers.
I heard some shots in the woods. Yeah, I'm wondering if some feathers were scattered.
Well, I've heard pretty good reports on the grouse over in our neck of the woods here.
Yeah,
people are not unhappy, and their dogs are happy. So everybody's happy, and that, well, but it is. The population appears to be up where we are, so that's good.
Well, I have a 4-month-old Labrador Retriever, red in color, by the way. Mm-hmm. I think if she saw a grouse fly out of a bush, she would run the other way.
Oh, well, I don't know what to tell you about that.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up. If my wife heard that, she is yelling at me. It's a male dog. I can't say she anymore.
Oh, that's right. You got to have to. It's hard, isn't it?
It is. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. No,
I know.
boy.
That's why he's confused.
Cute.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she's cute as heck, but we got a ways to go.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, we're getting into one of the things. This is totally off what we were just talking about, and forgive me for this. Okay, I was thinking about calibers this morning, and I was thinking, my gosh, there's been a lot of calibers. The shotgun's been pretty stable. There's 410, 28, 16, 20, and 12. But those rifle calibers, I haven't, there's been a lot of them, and some die a pretty fast death. What we call the short fats, the 243 WSSMs and 25, that was a huge announcement many years ago with Browning. That fell on his face. And listen, I am not being critical because I bought one of those myself, so don't think I'm criticizing anybody, but it was a fail. There's no way around it.
Why? What happened? What was wrong with it?
I don't think it had enough difference. I don't think it was new, and I had these discussions before with factory reps, and they say, well, we are a business. And the higher-ups say, we have to have something new. And that's true, People love new things.
Yeah.
But I don't think they had enough meat on their bones. I don't want to say they didn't do the research. Maybe if Dad had just put one of them out, and maybe it was just too many. I don't know, but they are dead. Now we've got, of course, the 7mm and the 6.5 Creedmoor, and relatively new and stable. They're still very, very popular, great calibers. So now we have the PRCs, and we're seeing now one that kind of has been standing out as a 7mm PRC. It's a longer range for bigger game, and that's caught everybody's eye, so to speak, and that seems to be kind of people seem to like it. They're loading for it now. So that one's good. That one seems to be stable. But I was thinking someday when I have nothing to do when I'm in the nursing home and if I can still function, I'm going to count up those guys. I could probably go into Google it and find out. But, boy, there's been a lot of them. And, of course, the stability of the old ones are still wonderful. I think, like the 270 is, it's a rock star every year. 306, of course, the 308 goes through. Yep. And I'm partial to the 243. Sometimes, some days here I'm in the minority, but I still think that's a great caliber for deer, for a low recoil deer round. And, of course, it depends where you're hunting.
As long as they're still selling ammo for them, the guns in...
We're good. Yeah. Yeah, we're still good, that's for sure. So that's always kind of every year I think about that, and I think, oh man, there's been a lot. And of course, the difference variances in ammunition. So many people are going to copper now, which 20 years ago they wouldn't even talk about it, and now it's a wonderful. I'm a fan of copper bullets. I really am, and there's a lot of ammunition out there, and that's kind of the trend now too.
What's the rap against copper? Against?
People aren't familiar with it. I really think it's like anything else. You're not, if you do your homework, and we have a fellow who works here, Chris. He's just like one of those. Oh God, he's terrific on ballistics and bullets and ammo. And if you do your homework, you will see the advantages of it. You do have to I've got one gun that I started with copper. I didn't have to do any resighting in. They're going to fly a little different. I've been very, very happy with it. That's 7M08. But anytime something is new, some people are all over it, and some people are traditional, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's an interesting journey over the years of seeing different calibers. And another thing, as long as I'm just babbling about,
keep going. You're good.
Yeah. In the handgun, and we talk about this about twice a month. The death of the 40 Smith & Wesson, which was immediate and still long term. It's still on the table, dying. Wow. And nobody quite gets it. It was, of course, the police and everybody used it, and then it was gone. I think a lot of it, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. Again, I own one too. There you go. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think some of it was the fact that the 9mm is a little cheaper. That entered into it. And that isn't just here. It is nationwide. You talk to any supplier and they go, yeah, that went right down in the tubes. Huh. And there's nothing wrong with it. So it's interesting to see. And that happens. That happens with a lot of things.
It's like that football player. Once you get a bad reputation, you're on the bench.
But it doesn't even have a bad reputation. It's just weird. You're on the bench. Yeah, that's true. They're benching this guy for a long time now. But, it's just kind of interesting. Calibers are interesting. It really is if you're sitting around to start reading about them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that the old ones, like the 35 Rem, that's excellent. Still is. One caliber we don't have here for rifle, hardly anybody uses it, and it's great, is 2506. It's kind of more out in the open, out west a little bit, but that's one that isn't popular here, but still it should be. But again, when there's so many to pick from, well, that's part of the fun.
According to Grandpa and his clan, 30-06 and 10 gauge. That's it. That's all you need.
10. Notice I didn't even mention the 10 when I was talking about it.
No, I heard that, and I was waiting for it.
I just sold the 10. We had the old H&R with that 32-inch barrel. We just sold one to a fellow, and he was so doggone happy. And, it's almost impossible. The only loads for it now really are turkey loads. Oh, and, yeah.
I hope he's a big, strong guy.
He is a big, strong guy. If you can't hit him with it, you could knock him over the head with it, right. I guess. But I forgot about that. See, there you go. But there's always something somewhere for someone to love, I guess.
And there's always a season in one state or the other where we can take our craft outside and really work it.
That's true, yeah, and that's what makes it, great.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of, we're getting into we're in the season, there's no doubt about it, and of course we just love selling. We love selling things to young hunters, that's for sure, and we make a real point of it to have the shorter, lighter rifles in stock for not just young ones, but, short-statured people and women. We make a point of that, and there's quite a few to pick from, too, which is great. We had a young man and his father in this week, and it's just a pleasure, just a pleasure. It was his first rifle, and he was excited, and the dad was excited, and we were excited, and it was nice. It's nice to do that. You bet.
Oh, well, hey, we're running out of time here.
Okay.
Your hours at Superior Shooter Supply and location, of course.
We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday, 9 to 5. We are on the corner of Ogden and Winter, and we are here to help you.
That a girl. Thank you very much. Shoot straight and hunt right. Good. Thank you. Break time, 9:33. Hey, we're back on the Frenzy. Not a pretty day outside, but we can find something to do inside thanks to John Charlstrom. Johnny, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, inside, nice and warm and toasty and dry, you've got that archery set up in the back.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of people in archery today.
Yep, we are very, very close to the archery season, and you got to practice,
Yeah, archery's already going, so we're like a week into the season now, and we're getting a few deer in.
Oh, good. Any good size?
The other night we had a 180, I think it was 189-pound buck. Looks like a nice little, like a good 8-pointer.
Wow, on archery, huh?
Yep. And other than that, it's been just a handful of does from the city hunt. So the city hunters are out doing their thing now.
How long does that last?
For the remainder of the archery season, so that's going to go till end of December. So
yeah,
long season.
I was quite surprised. I was riding. We were headed to Two Harbors. We were down on London Road. Oh, where near the Congdon Mansion, I guess, somewhere in there. Yep. So 2 deer.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I've been training on and off these last few years, when I'm running that section of the lake walk out there, it's some of those deer seem so tame you could almost pet them as you run past them.
Isn't that something?
Yep.
Did you try and pet them? No, you're...
no, but yeah, you almost have to step around them sometimes when they're crossing the lake walk there.
Yeah, I've seen that on one of the avenues, probably about 42nd. There's a brush, or no, it was a bush somebody had planted in their yard. There's only some sticks left now.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of those landscaping projects turns out deer like them. So yeah. Have a care when you're doing your landscaping and try to find something that the deer won't eat.
What would that be? Something prickly, like a cactus?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
They like them little cedars, I know that.
Fishing. We still got some time here for fishing. Lots of good angling done in October.
Yeah, we're not putting up any ice yet, so you might as well get that boat back out 1 or 2 more times. Because fishing's good. You know that. You've been out lately, and the chub minnows are working just fine. Right when you called, I had my hands in a flat of crawlers. I was packing up another batch of them so we can get restocked. So
I get this asked almost every week. where do those worms, night crawlers, come from? Are they Canadian?
They are Canadian. Yeah, we have. There's still trucks that come down from Canada filled with thousands of flats of night crawlers that get distributed. Ours come right from our same distributor from Urbank Live Bait Company, but they have their own Canadian connections, and the quality of the worms this year, I've said it before, but these are the nicest crawlers that I've ever seen.
Agreed.
They're huge, they're healthy, and I've been tickled. I mean, I've packed most of the crawlers that have went out of this building since 1981, and these ones, I mean, I've seen good crawlers before, but these have been awesome crawlers the entire season. So,
yeah, totally agree. We did buy some crawlers while we were on vacation. I ran out of the ones that I bought locally, and we're up at International Falls area. And we got, we better get a couple of dozen. So they were almost dead, to be honest. And you can see Canada from where we bought them, and I'm sure they came from Canada.
Yeah, they probably came from Canada, but they probably took a long trip down south and then another trip back up north to get to the bait shops. It's kind of a convoluted the way the routes kind of go around, and like you say, you're looking at Canada, but the worms you got might have
took a trip.
Might have been on a slow boat for a long time.
Yeah, that's too bad. They still caught fish because I begged them to.
Yeah.
This year, I tell you, we've caught way more walleyes, if you will, and bass on crawlers than any other bait.
Yeah. I know. It's a good natural bait, and people have been using them for years. And this year, and I don't know what's different about this year, but it seemed like they've been the star of the show in the bait world.
I'm going to stay on the same thing, and that's bait, but let's go to artificial. Is there one really hot artificial lure that left the store?
This season we have seen a lot more plastics, and I don't know what's different if more people are getting into bass fishing, but all season I've been seeing kids carrying up handfuls of those packages of the rubbers and plastics, like the Berkeley Power Baits and the different companies making different products, but it's a ton of plastics and on with jig setups, and I don't know if they're catching walleyes so much as bass, but it's been interesting seeing more of that stuff go out the door than 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Whatever bends the rod. That works.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Especially when you get kids in the boat.
Yeah. Hours for archery and Charleston's.
Bait shop opens every morning at 6. Archery opens at 9. We close them both down together at 8 o'clock and 7 on Sundays.
And you'll be doing some skinning and preparing of deer when the time's right?
Skinning and, bear we've done, we've taken in 24 so far this season, and deer just got started, and I think we've seen 5.
Okay. Well, all right. Appreciate it. Keep a tight line. And, hours, please.
Oh, I just did them.
Okay, never mind. See, my brain is... what is it, Dave?
Fishing. Yeah.
Dead. All right. Thanks, John.
I'm Tim Lesmeister, and this is from the pages of the Outdoor News, brought to you by OnX Fish. Many hunters will be taking to the woods soon to get in on some of the finest wing shooting of the year, and most of them will discover that they're really bad shots. Why are they not hitting their targets? I'll tell you, but first...
Whether you're hunting private or public ground, OnX Hunt gives you the edge. With detailed land ownership maps, you'll know exactly where you stand. Add in advanced weather, wind, and radar tools, and you've got the full picture to plan every hunt. Now, with Moultrie Mobile Trail Cam integration, you can even see photos from your cams right on the map for smarter scouting and better stand decisions. Download the OnX Hunt app today and start your free 7-day trial.
Wing shooters take to the woods, and the bird gets up and they raise their shotgun, they pull the trigger, and the bird just flies away. Why does that happen? Some of those shots are pretty easy. We call them layups. Well, it's because they are doing something that about 95% of the shooters do. That is raising their head, bringing their cheek up off the stock, and trying to look over the barrel so that they can see their target. When they do that, the barrel will rise and they'll shoot over their target. Why do you think on those layup shots you miss? It's because you're not aiming at your target, you're aiming over it. To cure this malady, you should probably get up every morning about 3 weeks before you're going to hunt that first time and just mount your shotgun in front of a mirror. That way you can make sure that your cheek is tight to the stock. You keep it tight to the stock, and you'll be looking down the barrel and you'll see what your sight pattern is. Do this about 10 times every morning before you go out to hunt, and you will find that you hit everything you point that shotgun at. This is from the pages of the Outdoor News.
You're listening to The Fishing Frenzy with Rick Jordan.
Hey, we're back on The Frenzy, and we've got Dave Miller with us from Superior. Good morning.
Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Dave, and good morning, everybody. And, you know, my rain detector says I should have a hat on.
You get bald up there?
Well, there's a hole in my haircut.
Yeah, I got one of those too. And yes, we're going to have that off and on until April.
Yeah. So it's one of those days. The fire danger is low,
yeah.
and it's a little breezy out there, but looking good. It's a good day to maybe have some long underwear, a fleece jacket, a rain, and some rubber boots, and we got all that stuff.
Well, that's handy. I was just going to ask you, what do you got for wet weather?
Well, we got all kinds of different rain gear yet on the shelf, and then of course you kind of get into all of the fall and winter jackets that have the breathable waterproof stuff to them, but sure. We still got lots of good rubber boots. Of course, nowadays you need sometimes a little extra thicker sock to fill out that rubber boot or whatever. So Smart Wool, darn tough stuff. But I was looking around the store last night, and we got all these really nice like flannel shirts with a lining in them, and then just the regular Carhartt and other kinds of flannel shirts, and all those little things that kind of start coming into play when it comes time to stay warm and enjoy the cooler temperatures. And this is a great time of the year.
You might as well do it now. You're really going to need it in another month or two.
That's true. Yep, and I mentioned it briefly, I think, last time, but it's time to reinforce it. That with small game hunting and all the different things that are kind of starting up and getting going here, it's if you're out hiking in the woods. I mean, if you're just hiking in the woods, it's time to probably start wearing a little bit of orange, and kind of keep in mind that as deer season comes on, that's a time to wear more orange. But it's like looking at the store too. You get all these young hunters that are coming out, and they've had their hunter safety class and stuff. But if you need compasses, waterproof matches, survival blankets, all of those little things, the bone saws and stuff that goes along with hunting, we got a great selection of that stuff at the store too, and especially for those that are going camping and going to be out for a couple days.
You have done it. You have used a term I have never heard on this here radio show. Bone saw.
What was it?
Bone saw.
Oh, bone saw. Well, that's a little different than sawbones, I guess.
Yeah. Hours for Northwest Outlet in Superior.
Well, we are open Monday through Friday, 9 until 6, Saturday, 9 to 5:30. We're closed on Sundays, and folks, whatever you need, whether it's sun, rain, hot, we got lots of stuff at Northwest Outlet. All the winter stuff is starting to really fill the shelves. It's looking good. Enjoy the weekend, and thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Dave Miller. Appreciate it. Good job. Bone saw.
Yeah, I suppose you need those.
I have never used
if
one.
You're going to saw a bone.
I've had doctors, you know.
Yeah, true.
All right, got to take a break here at 10 minutes before 10. Oh, let's get in the back of the boat and work our way up to Fisherman's Corner up Pike Lake area and say good morning to Matt King. Howdy.
How are you doing this morning?
Already tired of the rain.
Yeah, it's kind of, what do we have? About 3 days ago, it was almost 90 for a couple of days, and then the bottom dropped out of that, and we go to 60s and windy and rain. So it changed on us for sure.
Mother Nature.
Yeah, it's... I went down yesterday to visit Russ for a minute to talk to him, and I looked out at that lake, and boy, it was angry out there.
Oh, it was. That's a good word for it. Very scary. And then, somebody comes up from Missouri or Florida, and they say, "You fish on that thing?"
Yeah, it can go. I had a few charters this summer that. There was a stretch there in like July where it was like flat for quite a while. We had a couple weeks there where it was, and people are like, I came out here and never been on this lake, and I figured that it was going to be rough, and here we are, and they're like, I can't believe this. It's like a mirror. And I said, well, take advantage of it and call yourself lucky because it's not always like that.
Oh, that is for sure. This is a very good example of that. But when it's nice, it's nice.
Yeah, for sure. We get some good fall fishing still to do.
Absolutely. It has been very good up until the crazy rain hit.
Yeah. And there's still, walleyes are starting to move in more shallow, and people starting to get them seeing crappies and things like that too, So it's kind of, you kind of go full circle there. It's cool in the spring and fishing's pretty good. And then as summer goes on, which this summer I thought stayed pretty even fair for fishing all summer.
Yep.
Got into a little bit late August there. It started to get a little warm. Made things a little tougher. You had to go deeper. But now, things cooled back down. I was talking to one of my customers there the other day, and he said that during that warm stretch, they actually went out water skiing again.
Oh!
And he said, boy, when he got in the water at first, he's like, the water's not as warm as it was 3 weeks ago. And so, but, yeah, now that water's cooling down and the fish, start coming up a little bit shallower and more active. And, it's a good fish and a good time of the year.
I am becoming familiar with the term walleye death rig, which sounds like a terrible thing. Can you describe what it is? Because I've got a bunch of people using it.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is that the way I describe it is kind of a weird bent hook, right? So the hook comes down. It's got kind of almost like a S or a Z kind of bend in it. And then you troll with that, and it really makes it a different action, right? And then I know some guys put it on with the butterfly blades.
Yes.
Is that what you use also?
No, but we were going through a rocky area. My son and I caught three death rigs that had been hung up.
Oh, really?
Actually got them in the boat, and we could see, well, that's the darndest thing.
Yeah, and we sell quite a few of those. Those hooks create such a different action to your bait, right? So even if you don't have, say, a spinner like a butterfly blade or something like that, that hook itself creates action for your minnow or crawler or leech or whatever you're putting on it. So it's kind of a new thing. That was never around when I was younger.
No.
It's a new thing that actually was out there, and sometimes as a person selling tackle and stuff, I shouldn't probably say this, but sometimes I think we reinvent the wheel that was already made back 30, 40 years ago with some of this tackle because we're running out of ideas. But that is one that's a new thing that nobody ever thought of years ago.
Yeah, for the last few years, I've been using a slip sinker with 2 floating jig heads on the same line. So they're about 3 inches apart. And you kind of connect the night crawler between the one on the top and the one on the bottom. That darn thing works. And now I find out they're actually selling them.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What are they called?
I don't know what they're calling that. I don't have any of those, but that's that's a really nice way to get it. It's going to float for sure up off the bottom there, so you're not dragging into the bottom. And then you got your double hook, like we like to run on crawlers, either a double or a triple hook. So, because otherwise most people probably pinch that crawler off, or you're going to get bit off right before you're hooked a lot of times.
Exactly. So you've got more meat in front of that walleye, and it worked to a point, and then they moved to another location when the wind and weather changed. Any other good deals at Fisherman's Corner?
Yeah, 20% off all the remaining rods. I've got some reels. We got game vests and stuff, because it is bird season now. Game vests are on sale, 20%. All our Blaze Oranges, 20%. I got 40% off the remaining sun shirts, so that's a good deal there. We've got all our game ammo, shotgun ammo is on sale, 10%, and all of our firearms are on sale. So stop up and you get a free cleaning for 1 year. We'll give you one cleaning within that year if you buy a firearm from us.
Excellent. And you got worms. Yay.
Yes, we do.
Matt King, always fun to talk with you. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Keep a tight line.
Yeah.
He's a good one. He's a guide. He's a businessman. He's a pretty good fisherman. And a darn tough hockey player.
All right. Rick will be back next week, right?
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Coming up next, it's news and then the Bruce Siskey Show on KDAR.